I thought I had married the love of my life, until I found 348 hidden photos of my ex-girlfriend buried deep within my wife's secret Google album. And it wasn't just photos. My wife had been copying her hair, her clothing, even her personality. I don't know what to think. I just want to throw up. I'm 34, and I met my wife Bailey, now 33, 9 years ago through mutual coworkers. We connected instantly, the kind of chemistry that seems rare. I fell hard for her. She was everything I thought I needed. Before her, I had just gotten out of a long, toxic, borderline abusive relationship with a woman Bailey had known in passing but had no friendship with. After that breakup, I had cut all contact, blocked her on everything. She was my past. Bailey was my future. We married shortly after the pandemic finally loosened its grip. We bought our first home and began trying for a child. That was a struggle because Bailey has POS, polycystic ovary syndrome. But last year, we welcomed our daughter into the world. Becoming a father was everything I dreamed of. I had my home, my family, my perfect wife. Life finally felt right. Then last Monday happened. My laptop's battery died. And with Bailey out of the house and just me and the baby home, I grabbed her work tablet to check something related to our taxes. We've never been the kind of couple to ask permission to use each other's devices. There was trust. At least, I thought there was. When I opened the browser, I noticed she had an incognito tab open. That felt odd. Out of curiosity, I clicked through. That's when I discovered the folder, a hidden Google account linked to a photo album titled Double X. I clicked it, expecting what? Maybe old selfies, random screenshots. I don't know, but what I saw made the world tilt. It wasn't porn. It wasn't nudes. It wasn't an affair. It was 348 photos of my ex-girlfriend, the same woman who had made me feel small and broken, the woman I thought I'd buried in the past. The album dated back to when Bailey and I had first begun dating, and had been updated as recently as 2 weeks ago. The photos range from family gatherings to her work functions, even pictures from her high school yearbook. I have no idea how Bailey found those yearbook shots. There were vacation pictures, ID badge photos, zoomed-in candid shots where everyone else had been scribbled out. There were screen recordings, blurry crowd images sharpened just to frame her face. Photos of her, just her, curated, stalked, preserved. And there was more. Another album was filled with close-ups of my ex's hair. Suddenly, I remembered Bailey recently changing her hairstyle, almost identical to the way my ex wore hers. Another folder contained screenshots of social media comments from obscure Facebook groups and public forums my ex was part of. She doesn't even post that much. She lives in another country now. The amount of time and effort Bailey must have spent tracking all of this is staggering. There were links to specific clothes my ex wore, identical blouses, the same brands of trousers. She even bought a water bottle I remember my ex carrying on a hike. The same damn bottle, the same hiking boots, the same sandals. And then the realization hit me like a wave crashing over a seawall. My wife has been morphing into my ex. Over the years, Bailey has slowly been stealing parts of her, interests, aesthetics, mannerisms, until I couldn't distinguish where Bailey ended and where this imitation began. The hobbies she picked up? Turns out they were all my ex's. The new career path Bailey showed interest in? Something I had once offhandedly mentioned my ex did for a living. Back then, I didn't notice. I thought she was evolving, growing, but now I see the pattern. Bailey has reconstructed herself into a replica of the woman I used to love, the one I escaped from. And now, everything feels poisoned. The love we shared, the intimacy, the bond we built. It feels counterfeit. I looked at our daughter, at this beautiful little life we created, and I felt nothing but nausea and confusion. I had a full-blown panic attack. I haven't confronted Bailey yet. Part of me wants to disappear, to take my daughter and run, to print every single photo in that folder and scatter them across the dining table like shattered glass, then vanish before she comes home. I don't know how to face this. I don't even know if I want to. The more I sat with it, the more things came together. My ex had a specific career. I had once shared that in conversation. Soon after, Bailey expressed interest in pursuing the same path. She made it her goal. The hair, the clothes, the niche hobbies, all added slowly, incrementally. The scariest part is I don't know how much of Bailey is Bailey, and how much of her is my ex's ghost wearing my wife's skin. Some people suggested this behavior might indicate OCD, specifically digital hoarding. I'd suspected something wasn't quite right for a while. Maybe I did talk about my ex more than I realized. But most of what I shared with Bailey about her was negative. Bailey knew the trauma I went through. She knew how much pain that woman had caused me, and yet she still chased her shadow. The yearbook photos, the social media stalking. It wasn't just casual curiosity. Bailey had made a fake profile to infiltrate my ex's life. She added enough mutual friends to gain access to a private Instagram, joined her fitness groups, searched alumni databases for her graduation photos. She'd even created an older folder called Hexthex, just in case I ever found it, so she could pretend the pictures were saved for a curse or spell. Eventually, she deleted it and made a burner account with the new folder, XX. That's the one I found when I opened the tablet. She got sloppy, and that one moment, a coincidence, shattered everything. The next day, once I calmed down, I started calling social workers and therapists. I want to confront her in a safe, structured setting. But none of the clinics that took our insurance had any openings for weeks. And despite the horror I just discovered, I didn't think Bailey was dangerous. I'd known her for nearly a decade. This wasn't premeditated malice. It felt more like a sickness. We dropped the baby at her grandmother's house, and I asked Bailey to go for a walk. I didn't sugarcoat anything. I told her I found the folder. Her face turned beet red. At first she froze, tried to downplay it, but I didn't back off. Then she broke down sobbing. She begged me not to leave her. She confessed everything. It started as curiosity. She wanted to keep tabs, she said, but it grew. It became pathological, even addictive. She admitted that maybe I talked about my ex more than I realized, and maybe she just wanted to emulate the parts of her she thought I admired. She said she didn't know who she really was, and my ex was the image she latched onto because, in her mind, she had me first. Finding the same clothes, the same accessories, became a game. She'd search descriptions like blue water bottle green stripe until she found the exact one to match. She was proud of it, and she was careful. She knew I had blocked my ex and would never see her new Facebook under a different name. But Bailey found it, traced her through a family member. Then she infiltrated her world like a shadow, sneaking into her digital life, screenshotting everything she could. After the confrontation, we took a break. It lasted for a while. Eventually, we started couples counseling. We're both also seeing our own therapist now. Bailey hasn't been assessed by a psychiatrist yet, but it's on the list. She promised to stop. She deleted the folder in front of me. Over time, I noticed certain items slowly vanishing from her closet. Even the hair started changing back. Still, I don't entirely trust her, and that's something I need to work through. A part of me fears she has another secret account somewhere, a backup, a vault, but the physical copying has stopped for now. We're not okay. Not yet. I want us to be, and I've accepted that it might take time. And if we don't end up okay, then that's something I'll have to face. But here's what I do know. My wife is profoundly insecure, possibly mentally unwell, and clearly lost. She was misled by her fear, her longing, maybe even a distorted sense of love. I don't want to walk away from that. Not yet. If there's a next time, if I ever post an update again, I hope it's a hopeful one.